Good evening, everybody. I'm in a hospital in Kampala, Uganda. It's a big public hospital with 6 floors. It's where all poor people go who can't afford health care. There are a lot of patients in the hospital. Some are sharing beds. Some are sleeping down on the floor. And I'm just only 13 years on the 4th floor, seated next to my mom, who is dying because of being tortured by rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo. She can't talk, she can't communicate, and that's why doctors are coming to me, asking me how she's feeling. I can't say anything. I'm nodding my head, saying yes, yes, because I don't know how to speak English. I'm from a French country speaking. I don't know, I'm confused, but I'm trying to communicate by signs. 2 months later, I'm standing at the graveyard with my 3 young siblings. One is 6 years, another one is 7, another one is 9. They are crying. They used to be calm, happy, but we are both crying with other 3 people, plus a priest singing and saying bye to our mom. I'm starting realizing that I'm going to be responsible when I'm still young. Later on, we get lucky. People help us to take us to schools, because in Uganda, even if it is elementary school or high school, you need to pay tuition, school fees to study. However, we remain with another challenge of looking for what to eat and where to sleep and paying rent. I remember me and my young siblings, when we are not at school or after school, we used to go and carry bricks for construction company to make sure that they give us at least $1 a day to survive, pay rent, and also save money for eating. Later on, I joined college, but had to drop out after 2 years because I couldn't afford to pay tuition and take care of my young siblings. I decided to leave it and also make sure that my young siblings can also complete high school. Therefore, they are in Uganda. There are refugees who are living in the city and refugees who live in the refugee camps. So I was like, how can I help newcomers and refugees who are coming in Uganda? And by then, it was too much and there were a lot of refugees coming. I decided to volunteer with an organization that was helping refugees to come. And I started as a computer trainer, but also doing research in the refugee camp. I remember one day I was traveling to the refugee camp. It is around 6 hours driving from the city to the western part of Uganda. It is at night, I started seeing grass-thatched house, fire on the backyard, people are cooking outside, tents, and all of a sudden in the middle of the center, there's a group of youth playing broken pool, chatting, and I joined them, asked them how they are doing, we chat, we have a chat. The following morning, I see a lot of people, ladies, young kids, and ask them, what are you doing and where are you going? And they are telling me that the only activity they are doing is farming, so that they can get what to eat and get few money to survive. But I immediately realized that there is a problem of communication between the refugees themselves, because they speak other languages, they can't afford to speak, they can't be able to speak English with the agencies that are helping them. I gather a few group of youth and I tell them, you know what, I can share with you the little English I speak, and you can be able also to teach others. They were good enough and they really helped me and they understood me. So I kept on traveling there to train them. And one time around, we formed a group called Tomorrow Youth. Under the tree, I see a lady carrying a baby, and she's trying to write, how are you, and her name on the blackboard. After the class, I approached her and asked her, because her baby was crying, I was like, why would you mind to come and learn if your kid is crying? don't you have someone take care of the kid? She tells me, my son, I'm here because this language is important to me, and I can be able to communicate to the doctors, and I can also be able to communicate to the agents and also to the people who are looking after us. Automatically it reminds me when my mom passed away, and they could ask me how is she, but I couldn't respond. Therefore, I know that I'm making a good decision, at least for people to learn the language. But on my way back to the city, I find my landlord waiting for me, asking me money to pay rent. However, I had already used all the money in the refugee camp. I start wondering and I'm confused. I'm asking myself, is it a good decision to spend all the money and forget to pay even rent? But on the other side, in my heart, I'm happy. And I try to also to make other money to make sure that I pay him and make sure that everyone is catered for. Later on, during the work I was doing in the city, one of my students came and telling me, teacher, we saw your name on the list of the people who are going to be resettled. I was like, come on, that's not possible. Another student came and said, teacher, we saw your name. We saw your name. And you, Kuban Alex? Yeah, Kuban Alex. I went to check and I found that I was on the list of people whom they are supposed to prepare and get resettled, and had already taken almost 10 years when I had applied. However, I'm wondering, should I leave, have these people that I'm helping, but also I have my siblings, young siblings, that I want at least to have a good life. And remember, I'm a refugee, I'm not yet regularized in the country, so the decision was to come. Went through the interviews and all the process. 2 years later, I'm standing at the Logani airport with my young siblings. We are happy, we are smiling, and we are lucky we can communicate with the people from INE who have come to receive us, because we can clearly communicate in English language. And therefore, I take it as an opportunity and a good step to communicate and also to be able to express myself. And asking me, what is your plan, what are you going to do? I was like, I would really wish to work with you and continue helping my fellow refugees and newcomers and also immigrants at large. 2.5 years later, I'm standing in Rivia in front of a class, a job training class, whereby we help refugees and immigrants to get skills in customer service, to prepare for interview questions, resume writing, so that they can get and be placed in a meaningful job in the hospitality industry. We are practicing interview questions, and this Haitian lady, she's telling me, teacher, I can't manage to be able to respond to the interviews. I'm nervous, I don't know whether I can do it. I was like, you know what, and this is always I tell my students, if I can make it within 3 or 2.5 years when I'm here in America and I can be able to stand in front of you and teach you, you can also make it and you can be able to go on an interview and pass it. A day after the graduation, I take all the students plus her on a job hiring event, and she's nervous, she can't talk, and she's already showing that it is not possible. And I come to her and I say, you know what, be you, and I'm sure I'm going to make it. She was like, yes, I need to make it, my teacher, because I have kids that I need to help and get good benefit and also make sure they also go to college. She goes to the interview. Later on, she comes, she's emotional. She's saying, wow, teacher, I made it. And now my kids can go to college. It automatically reminds me how it is not easy to raise children like I raised my young brothers. However, I'm happy and we are all happy that she can get a job of $22 per hour with full benefit, and also with her kids having an opportunity to go to college. I'm lucky enough to be working with the INE, continue helping newcomers, refugees and immigrants, and also continuing making a positive impact in my community and achieving my goals for the future to come. Thank you.